We did it. Angela, drink.
drink.
I know. I like horrible timing. I'm like, I have 3 seconds.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Totally,
She was jamming out at the 10-second mark for the countdown.
Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Oh. And I do that every time.
That's fine.
I am who I am. Okay, moving on.
Hey, I found something. Before I forget, 20 minutes ago, I learned something that I never even thought about before. So I'm going to ask you, it's like a trivia question. Okay. What animal from Disney's Robin Hood is Friar Tuck?
Yeah.
Now I have to remember who Friar Tuck is.
I know.
He's the big one with the belly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he like a bear or something?
Yeah, that's right. No, I need a cartoon version. Oh, no. Hello.
Jen, are you cheating?
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking at him.
I'm going off of memory.
Oh, yeah. I would say bear.
No, he's not a bear.
Is he a possum?
No. Oh. He's not that bad.
Wait. Let me. Okay, Robin.
I mean, I know the answer. I can just save you.
No. I want to guess now.
Oh.
He's a badger.
The answer
did you Google the answer? I want to guess the answer. Jeffers said muskrat. Yeah. Jeffers, by the way, just as a side note, he was trying to mess with my rat PTSD and sends me some sort of insane TikTok video where just all these rats come running out of a garage. And I was like, I'm still not over. I'm like, I shouldn't click this. I shouldn't have clicked it. Okay. So thanks, Jeffers, for that.
So follow-up question. Was it a badger?
Oh.
It was a badger.
It was a badger.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you Googled the answer.
What, you looked at
I looked at a picture of him. I didn't know I was
Nobody believes you.
Nobody believes you.
Okay, well, let's look at what I looked at.
I mean, we know you're more country out there in Minnesota, so maybe.
I looked at Friar Tuck right there.
Friar Tuck.
I saw that picture and was like, he's a badger.
Description say?
It says Friar Tuck is a companion to Robin Hood in the legends about that character.
Uh-huh.
Boom, I didn't cheat. Second follow-up question. Do I know this rat story?
Oh, how rats invaded my garage? Like, it was like 3 years ago?
Maybe I know this story.
I feel like you do.
I feel like I've heard it. Yes, I know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know it left you with a phobia, though. I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah. I still can't. I mean, now Papa Dillos' truck is in there, and I'm still like... anytime it's at night, I'm like, can you go in the garage and get something for me? Yeah.
We had bats in our house a lot when I was growing up. Can you guys hear me? I'm keeping it cash.
Yeah, no, you keep it cash. You recline yourself. It's fine. Yeah.
Dear. My imaginary friend. No, we had bats in our house a lot. And my dad thought, he's like, I know how I'll get him. And he would keep a tennis racket by his bed. The bat never got into my parents' room, but they did fly around the family room a lot. My brother got scratched once, and then he had to drive to the University of Minnesota to get checked for rabies, but he was fine.
Frank would still not have been recovered from that. He would.
Well, I mean, we're not traumatized, but my dad still does sleep.
How are you not traumatized by that? Your brother got scratched by a bat?
I'm pretty sure my dad still has a tennis racket underneath in their new house under his bed. Huh.
At the Renaissance Festival, beyond the allergies of living like right next to a lake in upstate New York when it's still springtime, so I could never do it. I lived in the neighboring college town of Oswego, New York, but the other part of not living on the site, like above the pub or above the ice cream booth or above whatever, was that I was like, there's animals everywhere. I can't do it. So I've done it a couple of times in the last couple of years when I just visit as a guest now. But a couple of years ago, finally, I had the loft where at 3 a.m., just back and forth up there with the bat. And I'm in mosquito netting, so I'm like, as long as I don't wake up and it's like against the mosquito netting like this.
Oh, no.
I'm okay.
That brings me to my next story. Is DVC calling me? I'm expecting a call from them.
Oh, do you want to put it on speaker and we'll?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to try to, if you guys want to try to get me my points back, I'm at risk of losing my points. If they leave me a voicemail, I'll just make Michael come and get my phone, and then everyone can say hi. This reminds me. So my dad, I love how we're totally on topic for today. So my dad, he's been on the podcast before, and he was the Boy Scout, Scoutmaster. So he's like in charge of all the Boy Scouts, and my brothers were all Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts and blah, blah, blah. And my mom's like, you guys are going to the scout camp for the week. Why don't you bring Ange for a night? And I'm like, Mom. But she's like, yeah, I'll bring her. It's fine. And I'm hearing myself tell this story, and I already know I'm going to just botch it. And he brings me for a night, and he has his own tent. So it's just like me and my dad. And he's like, now the bathrooms, because it's out in the woods, there's just an outhouse. He's like, the spiders like to crawl out of the toilets when you're going to the bathroom. And the porcupines really like the salt from the pee. So they like to go and lick salt off the seat. So, he also told me that bears brush up against the tent. So what do you think 5-year-old Angela did? Do you think that at 9:00 during a torrential rainstorm, she wanted to go to the bathroom after my dad's like, yeah, spiders crawl out, porcupines lick the seat, you're fine? No, I made him drive me 5 miles to a gas station. So I'm like, no, I can't do it. He's like, no, it's fine. Just go. I'm like, no, Daddy, I don't want to do it. That was traumatic. The bat, not so much.
I mean, I'm not Googling porcupines licking toilet seats. I don't even want to know.
If you find out if that's true or not, please fill me in, because it's something I feel like that's news that I would still repeat to this day. And he wasn't doing it to be mean to me. He was just like, yeah, these are facts. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then it came nighttime, and all I could imagine is that spiders were going to climb into my butt or something. I don't know. It's just kind of what I was thinking.
2 things with that story. Actually, just okay. The first thing I love, as you're telling the story, because you're talking about your parents as well, the Minnesotan comes out a lot.
Did it really?
Oh yeah, which I love. I forgot my second point, so we'll just move on. So that works.
Yeah, I'm getting my phone. Come get my phone.
Well, we could try to get on topic, because today I was looking at Angela's YouTube channel, which is right here.
Why?
Yes. Go over to Angela's YouTube channel.
Maybe I'll pull it up too and share my screen.
And so I was scrolling through trying to find the videos uploaded from your Universal Studios trip last week, and I don't. Am I looking in the right place?
Are those not? That's so weird.
Scrolling.
They must still be on private.
I'm pretty sure you were there last week. I saw your Twitter followers jump by 25%.
While you were going viral left and right.
Okay, one tweet did okay. I would say viral. No, why do we gotta pull it up on the screen?
Following Angela on YouTube, youtube.com/Angela Dahlgren. Hit the subscribe button right here. The only reason it is unlit right now is because I'm not signed into anything. But you need to all hit this red button and follow Angela, because so many videos are coming and you're not going to want to miss any. So
I mean,
subscribe,
Jen's not
hit the bell, all
but
of them.
You should be.
I mean, just because you know what? That is me. Subscribe. Okay. So
yeah. You guys talk for 30 seconds. I'm going to hand off my phone. Hang on.
Oh, okay, sure. Oh, well, we'll just,
should
just
we? Talk more.
Yeah.
Because she's got the Magical Mommy Monday audio on there, right? Mm-hmm. Every week.
Yeah.
You have the Grays area.
Yes, the gray area every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be back this week. We took last week off after finishing season 1. We're coming back tomorrow night to discuss season 2, episodes 1 through 3, if you'd like to watch and catch up so that you can chat along with us. Mm-hmm. Talking about the gray area.
Oh yes, that was a joy to edit. Because there were so many tangents that I wanted to leave in, but it was already over an hour, and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. You're just gonna have to watch the live stream or That's go. Right.
Is 60 minutes your panic point for the podcast?
Yes, absolutely. No. If it goes over an hour, I'm like, they don't want to listen anymore. They don't want to listen. Shorten it.
Was it like that over at the touring plans too?
I didn't edit those episodes.
Jeff makes a good point here. He doesn't get a lot of notifications. And Probably because there needs to be more videos, right? I mean,
I would say ring the bell. That's what the YouTubers say when I watch the videos. They're like, hit subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, make sure they're on.
Yeah.
So I would do that
too. Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that for the Dillos, YouTube channel for like the What's in the Attic and stuff.
Yeah, totes. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, super
hi Michael, welcome.
It's official. We are reunited, and Michael knows the drill because we will tangent for 10 minutes, and then we'll actually start the stream that we're doing.
He's coming in at the right time. You didn't miss anything.
He knows how it goes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, and the Matande family. I think you guys commented on my Instagram. I have not gone through my comments yet, but I will. And thank you for your comments. I appreciate them. I'm notoriously bad at Instagram. Like, take forever to reply.
I know.
Better on Twitter.
Yeah.
Better. Still not good.
That's why we're siblings.
Yeah.
So Twitter, you were slaying Twitter with your tweets in Universal last week.
Frank.
And yet we do not see video of your trip. What are your plans? What is actually living in your phone right now? What are we to expect from your time?
TikToks.
Oh yeah.
Reels.
TikTok.
Fleets.
I took like no footage at all. I even brought my stabilizer the first day. I know. You guys even texted me while I was there, and you're like, just like take some footage and do a little wrap-up summary at the end of the day. I didn't even do that. I was a complete disappointment. But I did live tweet the entire days. Day 1, which was last Wednesday, was way better than day 2, Thursday. Mainly because I was exhausted. I was up at 5 on Wednesday and walked like over 31,000 steps. So day 2, I was just like, okay, let's just get through this day.
Yeah, can you talk me through that? Because I'm curious, right? Because I'm much older than both of you, and I fear a little bit my first excursion back to the theme parks, where I know I'm going to put in the 20 to 30,000 steps or whatever it is, because I'm going to try to take less steps because I hurt more the next day. But I fear like just it completely knocking myself out. So, what are your tips for getting back on the theme park grind after 13 months?
Yes. I was worried about that too. I feel like I'm in professor mode. No, so I was worried about that too because like I was like running around packing the day before and I was standing a lot and cleaning and I'm like, oh, I'm so sore. How am I going to do the theme parks? The next day 2 I did with my aunt who's like 58 or 59. And we were at the park for 9 hours. Like we did over 21,000 steps and her feet got sore because she forgot her tennis shoes. But once she got sandals in the Jurassic Park area, which were expensive, but really, really comfortable, she was fine. So Frankie, you're good. You're good.
You got to have good shoes.
You got to have good shoes.
Yeah. You got to have the good shoes.
That is
you hurt your feet.
You have to hydrate. I actually brought Pedialyte powder with me.
Smart.
I would drink it with ice water though. Like at lunch, ask for ice water. It's way better than just like your lukewarm like fountain water, and then it's just like
clumpy
flavor and clumpy. Yeah. But yeah, as far as my Universal trip, I was a little nervous, which I think I might have talked about because I was going alone. Which is ironic because I really wasn't alone that much. But yeah, and I got exactly what I came for. I got to know the park. Day 1, I was lost a lot. I was reaching out on Twitter being like, I don't know where this is. And I was asking every team member where things were. But then day 2, I really hardly got lost at all. So I do feel like I got to know the parks, which is exactly what I wanted. And I do think there is a benefit to staying on property, even if you just go for one day. Getting that extra hour head start makes a huge difference. So like, we can talk more about that if you have questions or whatever.
We have all the questions and you can keep going. We will not. We're just here to listen to your trip recap.
John is very happy that you got sandals.
Yes.
In the Jurassic Park area, which I wouldn't even know that they were there.
Well, okay. So this is where Twitter helped me out. I mean, I didn't follow their advice, but I'm saying it was helpful.
Is Jurassic Park Outfitters? Is that the name of is that still the store? Wasn't that the name of the store?
It was like right after the water ride. Like you get out of the water ride and there's that store. So it's that one. And she had brought wedges and she just like she just didn't think about it. She was just like, she was coming from one hotel to my hotel, and she just packed an overnight bag. And it's just one of those things where you just forget.
Yeah.
And so she's walking the first 2 hours in these wedges, and she's thinking, this is not going to work. So I reached out on Twitter. I'm like, where can you get shoes? My aunt's dogs are barking. And someone said, like, got more laughs than I thought.
Like, we have no business laughing at your accent, just so you know. We have no business laughing at your accent.
My dogs are barking. And someone suggested a place in City Walk, but we had like a really strict schedule, and I'll mention that in a minute. So we're like, you know what, let's just go. We'll see what we find. So we had that in our back pocket, that place in City Walk, quiet something. And then we did the Jurassic Park water ride, river journey or whatever. And then we saw like a bunch of sandals, and all the guys' sandals were like these sturdy sandals with the strap and whatever, and the soft padding. And we're like, oh, these are great, look a little big. And then we go over to the girls' area, the women's, and it's all like the thong sandals that have the plastic strap that's going to rub into you and give you blisters within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Listen, we have very sensitive ankles, so we need, especially in Jurassic Park, we need only the best.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she has those Achilles heels. So
can I just interrupt for a second as well? The sandals you refer to as thongs, which really I have only heard one other person in our life ever refer to them as, and that is Nanny Dillo.
So I'll tell you, I forgot up until this very moment they were called flip-flops. Thongs. I'm like, what are they called? And I'm like,
I love it. I love it.
No, before there were thongs. I feel like when we were growing up, Nanny Dillo called flip-flops thongs.
Yeah.
And then we weren't allowed to call them that anymore.
Yeah.
She probably calls them thongs.
She probably still does.
Yeah.
With your dungarees, you wear your thongs with your dungarees.
Dungarees. Yeah, I don't know why I'm spending so much time on this shoe story. Apparently, I'm like really.
It's very helpful.
Helpful
People
knowledge.
might also need.
You probably need a whole YouTube video on the search for the shoes.
Just
that's it. That's a video. That's a 5-minute video, Angela. Just
really, because honestly, here's the thing. When I was 5 or 6 months preggo with a now 4-year-old, I was in Disney, and during that, it was like September, so it was still warm. But during that trip, my feet expanded because between the humidity and pregnancy, like my feet were growing out of my sneakers as I was walking and just bleeding. They were just bleeding. And I had to figure out a place to buy, but I didn't even want to go off property. I was like, it's too far away. I need shoes. And I went to downtown Disney and found an actual sneaker store. I think I still have those sneakers and still wear them to this day. But it's good to know where you can get some backup shoes for when these things happen in the theme parks. Not everyone thinks about it.
Well, and I thought that the whole women's shoe versus men's shoe thing was ridiculous, but go for the men's, everyone, because they're way more comfortable. They were $50, but it's like you're in a theme park. But overall, Universal prices are way more affordable than Disney prices.
Well, sure, yeah,
like so much cheaper. Like just things that I bought, like a t-shirt was on sale. When do you see stuff on sale at Disney? It was clearance. I'm like, ooh, I'm getting that. It was the Back to the Future 35th anniversary. So I'm
nice.
It's my happy day. Masks really weren't that bad. It was I was getting really bad. I was allergic to my mask, so I bought one. It was $8 with tax and stuff. I got a Honeydukes candy jar that was this big. That was $9.95. So prices really aren't that bad at Universal. I was very pleasantly surprised. But the thing that was kind of a downer is that the rides are abnormally loud. A little I know it makes me sound like a grandma. It's too loud, turn it down. But I just kept thinking about kids and stuff. And first of all, if they have sensory issues, it's gonna scare the crap out of them. Yeah. But more than that, it kind of had me concerned for ear protection and hearing. And I ended up meeting up with Seth Kuberski, who Jen and I had on the podcast. He wrote the unofficial guide to Universal, and I brought that up to him. I'm like, these rides are too loud. Yeah. I had to cover my ears, and I actually had the little ear things.
You had rock concert
Nice.
earbuds?
I actually brought
Wow.
those. Didn't use them. I know, like I'm just like
Happy
stupid
Jacqueline's
prepared.
family.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Kong is loud. Born Stuntacular is loud.
Huh.
The Mummy's loud. But yeah, 3 for $20. I think that's a really good deal, actually.
Frank, do you recall this from your VIP tour days?
Well, I think as it has shifted over to a primary projection screen attraction base,
yeah.
I think that's one thing. The Terminator 2 3D was super loud before, which preceded Bourne. So I guess that's not surprising. That's equally as loud in there. I mean, they would ride a motorcycle inside the theater. It's like
that makes sense, and especially with the screen shows. And I brought it up to Seth, and he said that actually in the book now they have like a part where it says you should consider ear protection for your kids because it's like really loud, and their ears are way more sensitive than ours because like by our age we've lost our hearing. So
especially by Frank's.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
Michael had said that he wants to know all of your favorites from Universal.
Okay, my favorites.
I want to before Angela, before you do that, I want to make sure, is this a future episode of I don't want to like step on Magical Mommy toes or anything else that Angela might be proposing for her YouTube channel. I want to make sure the information we are about to receive is like we're not squashing anything.
Right.
I mean, as long as Jen doesn't care, I have no problem repeating.
I don't care, but we're talking about your channel right now. So, I mean, if you're going to release any specific videos, maybe just keep things high level and then you can go into more detail in other videos on your channel.
I feel pretty comfortable sharing whatevs. So, let the people ask their questions.
All right, all your favorites then.
Okay, all my favorites. I really enjoyed Kong, even though it was loud. I thought that was really cool. It was just cool. It was rad. Like everyone should do Kong.
Rad.
It's rad. Now I'm getting like all jumbled. So if you guys have a specific ride, ask me if I like it, then I'll tell you. I thought that the Mummy this time around was good. The first time I almost threw up everywhere, but I just had a breakfast sandwich and a venti coffee. So like there was my mistake. And for those of you who get motion sick, here's my advice. I'm someone who like gets sick on elevators. Yeah, that was right. Don't eat before the thrill rides. I have found that to be most effective is just don't have anything in your stomach and it's going to go a lot smoother. I still got sick on things like the Transformer ride got me a little sick. Certain rides like Men in Black, when you would do the spinny, that would get me a little sick. Forbidden Journey, like I would just close my eyes at some part. It's just horrible, but it helps having an empty stomach. So like if you go first thing in the morning and you haven't had breakfast because you're there so early, just get all those rides out of the way first. And then, like 9 or 10 or whatever, then have your breakfast, or if you can wait that long. Yeah. Okay. Everyone I think wants me to like Hagrid's. Hagrid's is a really cool ride. And it's super, super fast. Again, the morning sickness. Freudian slip. Oh my God.
Don't be starting those rumors on this Twitter.
The motion sickness kind of got me a little bit, which is why I probably wouldn't call it my favorite. But I waited 8 minutes for it. Using the method that Seth gave Jen and I, and it was amazing, super effective. I can definitely share that if you guys want me to, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, 8 minutes for Hagrid, and then walked on to Forbidden Journey. I actually walked on to a lot of rides. I don't think I waited more than maybe 15 to 20 minutes the entire time I was there.
Wow.
It's the dream right there.
And that was spring break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ooh, the other thing I wanted to point out is because, of COVID, as awful as it is, but it's just worth noting that groups have their own rows or their own vehicles. So because I was by myself, I got Forbidden Journey to myself, like the entire car.
Yeah.
Or I would get an entire row to myself. So I was in the front row for a lot of things, or I'd have the entire vehicle to myself, which was really cool. And just like really unexpected. It was just something I hadn't considered. And as far as COVID protocols, they give you hand sanitizer right before you go on the ride.
Hmm.
And it's before every single ride. And they do not miss anyone. Like if you're walking on, they'll be like, hey, hand sanitizer, and they'll give you some. Also, masks, they're really big on keep it above your nose.
Mhm.
I think they have announcements through the park even that like you'll be asked to leave if you don't have it through your nose or something like that. They just it's a reminder, at least. I can't recall exactly.
Do you need to be stationary when you're eating?
I mean, yes. I didn't see it all the time when people are taking drinks, but it's like a quick like.
Yeah.
So I didn't think that was huge. I'd say mask compliancy was really good.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, on the interwebs that, it's Disney and then Universal and then everywhere else. Would you, having gone now to Universal first, you felt safe, you felt comfortable, you felt...
City Walk got
good.
really busy.
Mm-hmm.
City Walk did. There was one time that I did not feel super comfortable, and it was when we ate. My aunt and I ate dinner, and I think it was honestly because it was just my first time eating inside, and I'm fully vaccinated. She's vaccinated, but like it was just a personal comfort thing. Like my kids aren't, so I had wanted to eat outdoors the entire time.
Yeah.
Right.
And they just didn't have any outdoor seating. Every other time I ate outside, but in that case, we ate like at the bar away from everyone. So it's just like the bartender when he walked by. That was the only time I felt uncomfortable. And I think it was more a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah, I got a little busy, but I have that, like I know I'm vaccinated. I know I'm going to come home and, my family's vaccinated. So that gives me a little bit of comfort, but still I felt pretty uncomfortable at that point because it had been a year.
Yeah. Welcome, Tombstone Josh, lover of Universal. Do you have any questions for Angela regarding her recent Universal trip? Drop it in the comments. This is interesting that it's weaker when darkness hits. I mean, I can kind of imagine that in like World Showcase because it gets so dark in World Showcase. People are like, whatever. Nobody's like,
yeah.
I'm
or
sure
like
people do that. Yeah.
I do know that during the water rides, they let you take off your mask, which totally makes sense because it's gonna get soaked.
Yeah.
But yeah, they'll even say like they sit you down first, and they're like, okay, like once you're all strapped in, they're like, you can take off your mask for this part of the ride.
I didn't think they were doing that at with Splash Mountain. I almost feel like they were withholding the photo pass picture if there was anyone who had a mask off on those rides. Maybe I have that wrong though, but I don't know.
If you look at I posted a picture on Twitter, and if you look at my body after Ripsaw Falls, I'm not lying, completely drenched. My backpack was soaked. My body was soaked. It took me I wrote it maybe at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. It took me until 1 before I was completely dry. Yeah. So it's like if you're wearing them, and I was the only one in the ride vehicle.
Yeah.
And I was wearing disposable at the time. And so I understand why they let you take it off, but I think that is a personal comfort thing.
Yeah. That makes sense. So were you surprised by anything, like either an attraction or even something you ate that you didn't think you would be that into, but it was better once you were there?
Yeah. Seth treated my aunt and I to frozen butterbeer because I've had regular butterbeer, I've had hot butterbeer, and I'm not the biggest fan because I don't like cream soda. I'm like, man, I like pumpkin juice a lot better, which they're not selling right now. But he's like, you have to try the frozen butterbeer. Also, as an aside, he got Strongbow, which is my favorite cider. And he got it with a shot of fire whiskey, which is like Fireball.
Yeah.
And he's like, he gave me a straw, and he's like, have a sip before I try it. So we weren't contaminating anything. And that was surprisingly really good. But the frozen butterbeer is so good. You definitely have to try that. I also went to Florian Florida Q's, and I've been wanting to go to that ice cream shop for years. and I just never do it. I don't know. I think because I'm always with people and like we have stuff to do. And I got the chocolate chili ice cream.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Earl Grey and lavender.
Oh, you were hoping to try that.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
And so that was like my lunch. I was just like, oh, I'm really hungry. I'm like, nope, I made a promise to myself. I can't break this promise. Angela Strongbow is your favorite. We got to take you to some cideries. Dr. Jacqueline, I first had Strongbow when I lived in England. So it's like a nostalgic thing.
Oh.
Nostalgia wins.
It does.
That
And
always
Strongbow
wins.
on tap is way better than on a bottle. In a bottle. I didn't get the strawberry peanut butter, Josh. They said you could pick 2. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go nuts and get this chocolate chili. I'm just going to go crazy. And I asked the lady, I said, is this spicy? And she said, well, it has a kick at the end. And I don't know, like, I guess it was spicy, but it tastes more like the spice that would come from like a really cinnamony Altoid than like sriracha spice.
Right. Yeah.
And with the Earl Grey, like on top of each other, it wasn't that bad. It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Just to recap of your previously, you said your trips to Universal were like brief and not that many or anything. Mm-hmm. What was like when you went to ET this time? Had you done ET before, or you had never done ET before?
So I had gotten in line for ET once, and then it broke down, or like. Yeah, I was down and then I got in line again and then it rained or something. I don't know. It's just like I tried a couple times and it didn't work. Mm-hmm. And so I rode ET twice this time. And like I just don't know how I feel about it. Like I think I like it. It's like the Universal version of Peter Pan's Flight, isn't it?
I think that's what the intent is. I mean, I know that I think I wrote it for the first time when I was 15 going on 16 or whatever, and when it first opened, and I think my expectations were here for it, and it could not match there. So it always seems like a letdown to me whenever I go on it.
Which one? ET or
ET.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just I can see the nostalgia. Steffers kept telling me, like, did you smell the smells? And I'm like, sorry, I hit my garbage can. I'm like, it smells like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, it's just like a water smell, like a theme park water smell. So, like, the smell didn't do anything for me. If you were following me on Twitter, you know what I think the baby ETs look like they're made out of. It's just a weird ride. I mean, it's cool. Like if I went back, I would ride it again. But like, I was just like, I had so many like nocturnal panic attacks and nightmares associated with ET. I'm hesitant to say I like it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would never. I know Spielberg's got his hand in there, but I never would have guessed that ET would be the last like OG attraction standing, basically.
Yeah,
of all of them. It's
very
crazy
weird.
Yeah,
I know. I kind of wish Back to the Future would be, because I never got to do that, but I can watch.
Oh yeah,
a ride through. Why did you not get pizza or buffalo tots instead of the Philly brisket ones? Because they didn't sound good. Although John, you were very helpful on Twitter. Thank you for all of your tips. No, it didn't sound good. And then I got the Philly brisket one and it was disappointing. So if you're going to green eggs and ham, go with the Who hash. I think that's better. The Philly brisket tater tots are just kind of flavorless. They like put the jalapenos on top and call it like flavor. But it's not just like, and then the brisket's dry. But I'm also spoiled by my brother who makes an incredible brisket. So I think I'm just high maintenance at this point. But yeah, just don't bother.
And here's another question.
Did I have park to park passes? Yes, I did. And that's what I would just recommend. I would recommend paying the extra money and doing that. It's expensive, but if you're going to do it, I thought that I needed 2 days to see and do everything. And that was technically true. But it was really because I had always been with other people and I kind of felt like it's how you get when you're with groups, right? You want to make sure everyone's comfortable. You want to make sure that you're not holding people up with the things that you want to do and see, like you're always compromising, which is how it should be in a group. But by having that extra hour by staying at a resort and getting the first bus in the morning, I might as well go into how my strategy was. I pretty much saw and did everything between the two parks that I wanted to on the first day.
Yeah.
I went back and forth between the parks like 3 times.
Yeah.
But so do you have a question before I?
No, you can go.
Someone breathe.
Someone breathe. She gets very nervous if you inhale. And she's like, oh, I'm interrupting you. I just inhaled. So that's all I did.
Well,
I think you got to do park to park at least one of the days because I think you got to do Hogwarts Express from Diagon to at least once. You got to.
Yeah, if I think I've talked over someone, I die. I'm like, I'm so rude. So when Jen breathes, I'm like, did you want to say something?
The amount of times I edit that out pretty much on every episode of Magical Mommy Monday. Angela going, sorry, I interrupted you. No, I had nothing.
No, and I don't breathe a whole lot. I hold my breath a lot, so that's part of the issue. If you hear me breathe, it's because I've been holding my breath for too long.
Oh my gosh. I think I'm a horrible friend if I'm interrupting you while you're talking. Like, I want to be listening when you're speaking.
No, I agree, John. Horror Makeup Show is definitely an OG, and I'm glad Angela did it this time as well.
Frankie, I think you recommended that to me.
Yeah.
I am so happy you did. That was another one that was one of my favorites. It was hilarious. In fact, one of the hosts totally talked to me on Twitter, and I'm like,
"You're Angela Dahlgren."
She's like,
"When are you gonna learn? When are you going to accept who you are?"
Stop it. She was and I saw Beetlejuice, and then I think I made him mad because I didn't. So like the iPhone, has auto flash, but I didn't think that it was dark enough for the auto flash to go off, but it did. Because I'm like, oh my God, it's Beetlejuice, Twitter. And I'm like, but the flash went off, and then he gave me crap. And he was hilarious. He's like the hype man. It was just such a great show. I think people are like, oh my gosh, it's a makeup show. It's going to be dumb. No, it's so good. It's like how people underrate Living with the Land. Like, just do it, you guys. Stop whining. If your friend's like, you got to do it, just do it, okay? Give it a chance. It was so good. Okay. Okay. So now I'm wrapped up. I was kind of like tired, but now I'm here. Okay, so just let me know if the Minnesotans coming out.
I love it.
So Seth was on our podcast, the Magical Mommy Monday podcast with Jen and I was like, how do I get on Hagrid's? And he's like, I got you. So I was staying at the Endless Summer Resort Dockside. And it's like considered a value resort. It's a really nice resort. It looks nicer than a value, like when you're comparing it to Disney, like a lot nicer. But the rooms are very much like what you pay for. You get 2 beds, a stand-up shower, and a chair. Like, you're like, that's all I need. I'm just sleeping here. It's fine. But what's nice is that the buses are always coming. With a value, you're like 20 minutes. Oh, they'll get right away. Guess I'm here for an hour. No, the buses are always coming continuously. I think I walked onto a bus every single time. So that's great. And the first bus comes at 6 a.m. And he's like, you need to be on that 6 a.m. bus. And I thought, well, I'm going to get up at 5 and then I can go get some coffee in the Starbucks in the lobby. And I was just like, you guys, they have a Starbucks in the lobby. So cool. And, but that doesn't open till 6. So I go downstairs at 5:30. I have all my stuff laid out and I just, just get dressed really fast. And at 5:30, Starbucks isn't open. So I'm like, well, I'm doing it for Hagrid. Well, I walk out to the bus stop. I'm the only one there, but there's one chair. So I'm like, all right, that's fine. I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to watch a little bit of YouTube. It's all good. And about 5:45, 2 other people joined me. And he's like, you need to get on the 6 a.m. bus, the very first bus. Bus came 10 minutes early. He's like, you need to be one of the first 50 people in line for that ride if you want to set yourself up for the day. I'm like, this is a lot of pressure. Like, I cannot screw this up. I only get one chance because the next day I'm starting at Universal Studios Florida, so I cannot F this up. So at 6:11, I am standing in front of Islands of Adventure. Pro tip, every day they check your temperature and give you a wristband. And that color wristband is for that day. And that gets you in and out for the rest of the day without having to have your temperature checked. Get your temperature checked at your hotel because it's going to hold you up just a little bit if you do it at the parks. So do it at your hotel, get your wristband, get your temperature checked, and then don't bother doing it at the parks because it's going to hold you up. So at 6:11, I'm in front of, Islands of Adventure waiting to go in. And I just kind of stood there for a half hour. And I was like vibing to Kygo and Whitney Houston, like some Lady Gaga. And this family from Alabama is talking to me. And like the little girl behind me is complaining that she can't get in yet. And I'm like, it's all good. It's like, I'm just vibing. It's good. And so the doors open. And even from the city walk, from security, through the city walk to Islands of Adventure, people are sprinting to the Islands of Adventure line and then sprinting to the Hagrid line. Like you'd think it was Black Friday at like 11 p.m. or something. Like people were just like spazzing to get in line. I'm like, should I be running? I'm 32. Like, should I be doing this? Because my dogs were barking, right? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to run. But I can speed walk the SHIT out of these people. I'm just like, nope, not gonna run. Okay, not gonna run. Oh no, I can pass. So I am the ultimate speed walker. Use those long legs. And so I got in line and I timed all of my waits, which I also posted to Twitter if you guys want to know how long. Because again, it was spring break and I saw it was going to be like a 7 or a 9 on the crowd calendar. So I didn't know how long I was going to wait. 8 minutes later, I was on the ride and like, you think Rock and Roller Coaster is fast. This is fast. It's really fast. So, it's just wild.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I'm trying to see if we missed questions, but I think we've answered everything along the way here. I have something I wanted to discuss. Hold on one second. I have to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen, everybody. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
No. Hold on.
Jen, I don't see anything.
Here. Okay, I just want to talk about this tweet because it went viral. That's 1,009 likes, 37 quote tweets, and 64 retweets. That's 64.
Ask me if I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
And like sometimes, like how sometimes you're posting on Twitter and you're like, this'll get them. This is hilarious. And you post it and like 2 people like it. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
I posted this. I'm like, really? Huh. That was the one.
Yeah.
But you're speaking to a lot of adults. Yeah. You're speaking to a lot of adults.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Oh.
You want to say hi quick?
Oh, I want to stop it. Is that Mr. Cheeks? Oh, sorry. I gave away his name. Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Oh, this guy's blanky.
Nice blanket.
Oh, what'd I get on my mouth? Oh, I think it's cortisone cream.
It's attacking.
Go find Daddy, okay? Love you. Can you close the door?
He's so cute.
Oh, you want to say something really quick?
Okay.
I love you.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you. That's so sweet, Jay.
Stop, I'm gonna cry. What? Oh my
Can you close the
goodness.
door, JJ?
So cute.
I don't know where Daddy is. Can you close the door, honey? Love you. Bye. You guys, he loves you.
Love it. So why do you think it is important for everyone to do a solo trip to the theme parks?
Yes, because a lot of people agree.
Just a couple.
It's just
Or 1,000.
I think there is that stigma, kind of like eating by yourself, where it's like you're like a loser if you do it alone. And here, like, and I've done this before where I'll like go like 5th degree of separation, be like, hey, you want to go to Disney with me? And the person's like, I can't. Like, I don't want to go alone. And I was really anxious about it. I was anxious for like the days leading up to it. I think I posted that I was anxious. I'm very honest about, like my anxiety. Yeah. And I don't like to do things alone. I don't like to be alone. I just think it's more fun to do things with people. But there's something to be said for, walking through the park and being able to take your time. And I'd be walking through and I'm like, oh, this ride is 5-minute wait. All right, why not? Walk through. You see like this store. I don't have anywhere to be. I'm just going to walk on in. And really getting to like take it all in, people watch, do what you want to do for as long as you want to do it, change up the plan if you want. It's just this whole different experience that I enjoyed so much. And Jason Haston. Oh, I don't remember his first name. I'm so sorry. On Twitter, he pointed out like, but you weren't really alone. You were with your people on Twitter, and that's so true. Like, I would not have had the time that I had I not had everyone on Twitter to interact with. That was so much fun, and the advice I got from people and the help that I got from people was amazing. I didn't know where to eat. I don't know what's good. I didn't know what ride I should do next, or and that was so helpful. So I do think it's something everyone needs to do. It's going to be way more amazing than you expect it to be. You're going to think, oh, I'm bored. Just sit down for a little bit, grab a drink, have a coffee, call FaceTime. I FaceTime my mom and my husband. It's great.
There you go. Dr. Jacqueline has this question. Maybe you can help convince her partner or her pouty partner.
Tell them that they can take their own solo trip.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you gotta reciprocate. So you gotta be okay with them going without you, and that's the hard part. Where my husband's like, I don't have to go to a theme park with you. Awesome.
That's how I do it.
Yep.
It's great. I did not go on the Hulk. I was scared. The drop. Yeah, I know. No, and I didn't do rip something. Yeah.
Oh, the rip it, rocket, blast it. Shuck it, jive it.
Bop it.
Rip it, rock it. Yeah. No, I didn't do that because like after working with touring plans for so long, I've kind of been conditioned to like not want to wait in line, like it's like 30 minutes. Like can't do it. I have to keep moving. So those were just too long. And I had so many other rides that I could do. And then if I didn't have rides, I had shows. Like I'd never sat for the Tri-Wizard tournament or the Blues Brothers or Celestina and the Banshees or the Elder Wand one, the Three Brothers. I'd never seen those because I'm like, I have a place to be. I have to go. But I got to see all of those. So yeah, I really feel, and that's also what's nice about going by yourselves, guys. Because other people don't want to do that, but you're like, I do. Yeah. Oh, okay. Tombstone Josh, he asked this again. The drop on Hagrid's. I feel like I knew that one was coming because I remember reading about it, but I really tried to stay away from spoilers for that and Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I still haven't done that one, so I don't want any spoilers. But I felt like I knew there was going to be a drop, but the way that the drop happened was so cool and so on point. I was like, this makes so much sense. So yeah, that was a really cool thing. I was impressed. Yeah.
And so now, because when you arrived to MCO, you went over to Copper Creek for the day. Which of the DVCs were you at?
So, my husband's aunt and uncle, they're like second parents to him. They live in Florida half the year, and they were there. And so they're like, well, we'll pick you up from the airport. We're staying at Copper Creek. We'll just pick you up and bring you back. Do you want to do a park? I'm like, yeah, let's do a park. But because it was spring break, everything. The park reservations were full, which is actually a good thing to bring up. Once you book your Disney resort, people, reserve your tickets and your park passes, because you might not get into a park, especially if you're going.
Maybe that's what I did last week for a trip. Maybe.
Maybe. Just saying. Oh no, it's the live stream weekly burp. Every week it's because I take too many breaths when I talk. So we went to Copper Creek, ate at Geyser Point outside. I had a really good steak salad. I think it comes with fish, but I didn't get the fish. That was amazing. Get the steak salad. And it was like a brisket with cheese on top that they serve with potato chips. That was good. And then we went to Disney Springs, and I finally went to Wine Bar George. I like how I'm like more excited about that than Gideon's. Everyone like, oh my gosh, Gideon's. I'm not a sweets person, but like we did go to Gideon's. I got a cookie. I mean, you guys, it's like It's like a cookie. Everyone's like, it's the best cookie ever. It's a cookie that's kind of not cooked all the way through, so it's kind of doughy, and it has like all the chocolate chips. It's like a bag of chocolate chips. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
And a little bit of sea salt. But the inside of the store is what's cool and very unexpected. So it's kind of worth doing it just to go inside of the shop and get in the virtual queue. Do not wait 4 hours in line. Get in the virtual queue. They'll tell you when it's time to go and get in line. And then it's like a 10 to 15 minute wait. So just do that. But I finally went to Wine Bar George, which I've been wanting to do for years. George was there, like opening up wine and cleaning tables and wiping them down. He's like really, really busy. And our waiter was probably talking faster than me. Like he had the energy of like a 4-year-old after like a bag of candy. So he was incredible. They had like over 200 bottles of wine. I finally got the Dole Whip Froscato, which I have wanted forever. We sat on the balcony outside. Which was perfect because you're in the outdoors. Like I said, I really did try to eat outside as much as I could. So there's plenty of places to do that, I feel, on property. And then the small plates were so good. Everything we got was good. My favorite was, and this was like, I did not see this coming, but my favorite was like the meatballs and polenta. It's like, it's not normally my thing, but that was really good. They had like fried mac and cheese with some spicy cheese in there. We got like the chicken satay, and then everything. Like it's perfect, I think, for 3 people. Like if you go with 3 people and then you just share like 3 or 4 plates, that's gonna feed everyone for dinner. That's perfect. Yeah. So I think that's a good way to do it. Someone said, John said drive offsite for Gideon's. Yeah, like I said, we were in the virtual queue, so I didn't even have to think about that. But yeah, Wine Bar George for the win. And then we also just had a quick drink at Jack Lindsay's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gotta do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we did that exact same thing, no? Wine Bar George and Jack Lindsay's in last January with Drunk Stormtrooper.
So fun!
Yeah.
Did he take out his mask for the occasion?
He may have.
Oh my gosh. The elusive one.
Now on Instagram as the Drunk Stormtrooper.
The Drunk Stormtrooper.
Yes.
All right.
A lot.
It's all right.
It's fabulous.
That's what we're here for. And now you got stuff coming up too. So do you feel like now you're like, all right, I'm over the hump here.
So I will say that being on Disney property produced this like inner joy and elation that like I had not experienced in a long time. Like I was in my element, and it was a little sad knowing that I was like so close yet so far to a park. But I feel like I still got my fill, and it made me very prepared for my April trip. I'm very much looking forward to going, and I'm going with my sister-in-law, cousin and my cousin-in-law. Wrong people. And they haven't been since their honeymoon 5 years ago, so they've missed Pandora, they've missed Toy Story Land, they've missed Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, so it's all going to be new for them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And maybe take some video.
Yeah, some video. That'd be good.
Totally.
Yeah.
Angela, just makes you do the shoes video, and you talk, and then you like just show pictures as like a split screen thing. That's all you need to do. That's all
one video.
Another
video is your whole plus situation that Seth told you about. There's another
2
video.
videos.
Boom, there's 2.
I don't have any Universal footage though.
You got pictures. Just take the pictures and show the pictures as you go.
Green screen action.
It's like your own TED Talk.
This is like some New York anger right now.
Well, how many times do we have to tell you, Angela?
Angela, seriously,
we told you last week what to do. We told you before you left what to do. Why are you not listening to us?
And now you're going to do something.
It's a little bit of oppositional defiance, I guess. I don't know.
As the baby of the family, this is what you do.
Baby. Yeah. Okay. We're good. Yeah,
all right, we are good.
I'll work on this. All right.
We're good.
Then we'll get out of here until next month.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Yes, and then I think I will be done with my other trip by then.
Oh.
Oh, look at it. It's just Trip Reports with Angela. It's basically what the show is. I like it.
And if you have any questions, you can just send them over to the Dillos Diz and I'll answer them. And
you can comment below if you're watching on Angela's YouTube channel. Feel free to just comment here. Remind her to come back to the channel and take a look at it.
And what videos you may like to see of Angela.
Yeah. You know what? Please comment with what videos you want to see from Angela. You know what's also great about her is if you go back into her archive, she also has really good homeschool type setups and some tips and tricks for distance learning and all those things. So, she's got a plethora of videos up here.
I stand by that you guys are the best and worst kind of people. I'm running out of excuses, okay?
Hi, Cricket.
Good morning. And night. All right. So, Angela, do all the plug. Do your Instas and your Twitters and your YouTubes and everything.
Do all the things.
Okay. So, we have the Magical Mommy Monday podcast. We are Magic Mom Monday on Twitter, Magical Mommy Monday on Facebook and Instagram. Jen is Janillo on Twitter. And I'm Angela Dahlgren on Twitter and Angela_Dahlgren on Instagram.
Nice.
And nowhere else.
You know where to find me. Improving Frank.
Improving Frank.
At Frank M. Cardillo normally, though.
At Improving Frank.
It is improving.
It's improving.
Oh. I love improving.
And on that note, thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you helping driving the live stream along. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.